Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders. Salutation to all the brotherhood out there teaching the truth and sincerity. So we're going to talk about Hanukkah, and also we're going to come out again tomorrow. But Hanukkah is very important. So what we have done is we as a people, we as these people have accepted that we are these people, right? So we have to take the whole package, right? Which means the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. So right now I am in the Apocrypha, and this is 2nd Maccabees 5:1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. So, do you remember when we watched that video? Mm-hmm. That's what it was talking about. There was a line of emperors that took on the title Antiochus. There was Antiochus, and then Antiochus all the way to the 5th, or even further than that. And all this happened in 2 sets of histories. I say 2 sets of histories because people don't accept the Bible as a historical artifact. So this history recorded in the Bible, that's one. And this same history, although altered a little bit, was recorded in secular history. So, I'm gonna try to do my best to give you a little explanation, a little rundown of Hanukkah, and also show you that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai does exist. Okay, that's what Yahweh's name means. Yahweh means he exists. And Yahushai means he delivers, or he delivered. Rakah, that's the spirit. Kodash is holy, so Holy Spirit. Not a lot of people believe in the Bible, but that's okay because I have a question for you. Is the Bible for everybody? It's only for who?
These people.
Which ones? On this side or that side?
That side.
What are these called?
Hebrew Israelites.
There you go. There you go. You see? That's what goes on in my house. That's what goes on in my house. We are these people. We're from the tribe of Issachar. And I try to get my siblings involved. So tonight, for the 3rd night of Hanukkah, we're gonna go to my sister's house and this is like the 3rd year that we've been doing this, and I'm gonna make some potato tacos, right? Because we're celebrating. Well, I'm gonna make some potato tacos, and we're gonna have a delicious meal. But that's just it. That's about, and it's we're having a good Hanukkah. Usually around this time, I don't have any dough because it's in between payday. Like what I'm saying is, I get paid on Tuesday next week. Well into Hanukkah, and I prepared a menu for all the days. We're gonna eat something. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna light the candles. So that what we do is when we light the candles, it's actually based on a siege where, you know, the Maccabees. And if you want to find who the Maccabees are in history, look up the Hasmonean dynasty. So the Hasmonean dynasty era and the kingdom of Antiochus are both recorded in the same time. Now, who's Antiochus? Okay, when Alexander the Greek conquered all that land from Macedonia to Assyria and to the edges of Afghanistan and the Hindu mountains, that was a vast empire. That was a big empire. So that empire went from what's known as Greece, all the way to India, all the way to Africa. So this man, Antiochus, was preparing his second voyage to Africa to fight the Seleucid Empire. So what is that? Why is that important? So there was Alexander, Lysimachus, Seleucid, and Ptolemy. This man, Antiochus, came from the Ptolemaic dynasty, right? It sounds like a lot of jargon, but this is important. That's the sound of the beast. Alright, so this is very important because I'm telling you where you can find this information. If you don't believe me, that's fine. And there's people out there like, mostly people in Hollywood. But you know what? I would love to have a conversation with Neil Tyson DeGrassi. He believes some things, and I don't know. I believe I have some, you know, my perspective on what he says. Satan doesn't want me to say this to you, Mr. DeGrassi, Mr. Nielsen DeGrassi. But if me and you have a conversation, I believe I can reach to you. Because you said that you don't believe that there should be a God that's all love, and he is not all love. That will be our starting conversation point. But we can't talk unless you allow me to use the Bible as a guide and vary its history. But I know that your understanding is so great that you'll get it. But now enough about that. This is actual history. We couple it with secular history. And this Ptolemaic king, Antiochus, had a dynasty. Think about a dynasty. That lasts for quite some time. You know? Let me give you an example. Chinese people say they've been China for 5,000 years, and they had all kinds of dynasties, this, dynasty that. So it's a long history of ruling empires, aristocratic families, noblemen, protecting their own interests by having a political point of view that opposes other clansmen of that area. Now, when the clans reach a certain size, bigger than they can contain, they start to expand. They start to go to different places. So that's why China had so many fucking civil wars. I just wanted to say that so you can understand about dynasties and how they can prolong a government. Now, with that said, the beast has a government. Tell me where, so I'm gonna go get it. Revelation 20:1 and 2. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And that's Yahushua. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So that's talking about a government, right? Because governments fight each other. Governments fight each other, right? So in this case, it was the Holy Roman Empire subduing the devil, right? So it said that old serpent, the devil, Satan, that is a group of people that you can pinpoint to Edomites, right? Edomites. Remember that word, Edomites. I'm gonna look it up on Google search. So look at it. It gives you. It says Edom, right? It says Edom. It says Edom was an ancient kingdom in Transjordan, located between Moab and the northeast of Arabah, to the west of the Arabian Desert, to the south. But anyways, it says the capital is Basra, right? Basra, remember that. So it is Isaiah 63:1. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. That's Yahushua. Yahushua said he will destroy you, Edomites. Right? And the explanation for Edom was Basra, but that's talking about a place over there in the east. That place over there in the east is also a people, a group of people. Just like Jerusalem is a group of people. So I'm going to read this again. 2 Maccabees 5:1, and at the same time Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. Why? To fight the Seleucid Empire. And who was the first? And these are all Edomites. These are all Edomite people. So Edomites are all throughout our history. They're still here. We're still here. What you gonna do? They're still here. We're still here. They hide their true identity, and we're regaining our true identity. I mean, I don't blame you people. That's the way you were made, but you gotta be a stupid motherfucker not to see this. To say that God doesn't exist. His people are here. His people are here. Don't you know there's people out there that can take a whole bunch of pain and they heal fast? Under those special circumstances, wouldn't that make them a special people? But then you could also say, well, they're mixed. It happens in Russia, it happens everywhere, it happens in Greece. Well, you know that Alexander, when he went conquering, he took Israelites with him to fight with him. And I think that's where the Hasmonean dynasty came from, is because they were traveling with them, and then later on they were like, man, these guys are fucking up Jerusalem, we gotta go handle it, right? So this is, Hanukkah is based on actual facts. Okay, there's two sides, there's actually three sides. There's their side, which is the small hats. our side, which is the Hebrew Israelites, and history's side. Which history in small hands probably going the same way, but who has the right history? You know, there has to be someone that has that right history. So if you have any, what would it be? Like people in Alexandria, Egypt, know they're Israelites. People from Byzantine Empire, which would be Turkey, or rather I would say Armenia, they know that they're Israelites. So everybody in the Eastern world knows who they are. Everybody over there on the old world knows who they are. Except for these people don't know who they are. But great people come out of them, right? Just think about the Hasmonean dynasty. You can look at that up, and you can look up, what was it? Anyways, 300. Watch the movie 300. Those are all based on history. Those movies are great. And there's a lot of history in our life. Like, people enter marathons, and a marathon is 26 miles, right? So that marathon is based on when some war in Thermopylae, which is based on the movie 300, happened. And, they were not supposed to win that war, but this dude ran 26 miles non-stop, give or take. And at the end of that run, he said Nike, which meant victory. Did you know that Nike means victory? See, everybody knows that. Because it's based on history. You base your history on what actually happened right in life. As life keeps evolving, people make things based on history. Like, let's see, the Mustang, right? Based off the Mustang P151. And Mitsubishi made fucking Japanese airplanes in World War II. So there's history in that. But guess what? Chrysler, just as I said that, right? That's a Mustang. That was a Mustang 5.0. Just imagine that engine in the sky with the propeller projecting an airplane. That's how they got those cars to be like that. And that's how they make their money, through war. So these people, Antiochus and Seleucid, you know, they are Edomites, right? They had to have wars to get their power so they could tell their history. Now we're going to move on. 2nd Maccabees 5 and 2. Now this is my favorite part. But guess what? History doesn't record this. Alright, here it goes. And then it happened that through all the city for the space almost 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air, in cloth of gold and armed with lances, like a band of soldiers. These wars are recorded in history, but they're not recorded all the way through. Now, in the Babylonian Empire, which was the Syrian Empire, melted into that one. We have some king called Nebuchadnezzar, right? Or what's it called? Sennacherib. Yes, Sennacherib. And he had 2 sons. So let me get that history. So I'm gonna just get the conclusion of it. I'm not gonna get into it. And it came, 2 Kings 19 and 35, and it came to pass that night that the angel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians, and 184,500, and they arose early in the morning. Behold, they were all dead corpses. Now, that's the reason why Sennacherib's 2 sons murdered him. And it'll say, so 36 says, so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adramelech and Sharezer, his sons, smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. That also happened in history, but it's not recorded the way it should be. That was a fantastic event. Because, let me translate it. What happened was, a chariot, a so-called UFO, a UPA, unidentified phenomenal, what's it called? A UAP, aerial unidentified phenomenon. Because a phenomenon is basically defying gravity, defying everything, the laws that you've made up, Esau. It defies you. You say they move around with impunity. Yes, they do. Those are the UFOs. Think of Yahushai, whom people ignorantly call Jesus, sending his angels to protect you. I mean, that's why you're so brave. I'm talking to you Israelites, you people on this side. That's why you're so brave, because you don't understand that the Lord's kind of watching out for you. But if you're the hopeful elect, the Lord's watching out for you in a major way. You know, he has angels. If we look up, they're there, but we can't see them. Right? So, 2 Maccabees 5:2 says, and then it happened that throughout all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers. Band of soldiers. So these angels are Yahushai's soldiers. We are his soldiers. Okay? Because we're doing his bidding. Everything that goes on in the universe, in existence, is his bidding. He'll distract you by making you so smart that you neglect the basics. You neglect the simplicity. Just believe, right? So if you have, well, let me just, I know I said this wasn't going to be long. Hebrews 4:2. For unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So you got to be careful. It's not you that gets to say, oh, I don't believe. It's the Lord putting a spirit on you that doesn't make you believe. That should be scaring you. You have no faith. You need evidence. You'll be like, which king exactly was defending the Hasmonean dynasty? That's a good question. It started with Maccabeus, which was called Judas at first. And then his succeeding family members took that position, you know? You just don't want to give Yahweh Shem Yahushai props, right? 2 Maccabees 5:3, and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes and drawing of swords and casting of darts and glittering of golden ornaments and harnesses of all sorts. There was a fucking battle in the heavens, which Brother Amawan did a lesson on it, that the heavens is anything above the earth, and the heavens of the heavens is outer space, and the heavens of the heavens of the heavens is where Yahweh Bashem Yahushai dwelt. So, guess what? These ships, they were showing visions. Now, what do you say? What do you want? What do you want? And they're called holograms. Okay, it might have been holograms, and Project Bluebeam. Look that up. We'll confirm that, because they're going to do that too. See, Esau takes our tactics that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai got, and he exploits them. He'll use them as his own. That's what Project Bluebeam is about. Okay, let's move on. And this really happened. So now, check this out. 2 Maccabees 5:4. Wherefore every man prayed that operation might turn to good. So what does that mean? Was it a good one or a bad one? Were they looking at good things or bad things? Bad things. Because it said here, wherefore every man prayed that the operation might turn to good. And that means every man. That means the Israelites and Antiochus men. So everybody was like, damn. And I'm looking at these people passing by, and I see different emotions in their faces. I see different emotions, and I see different reactions. People will have a heart attack when they see these chariots choosing a side. Well, that's what it's going to look like to you. Okay? It's going to look like they're choosing a side against you, which is your two-thirds, or you people that call yourself Americans, Edomites, which is the so-called white man. You know, who has put hell on earth? Who has? The Edomites. For a long time. Not only that, other nations have been putting hell on us too, but guess what? Thank you. Because that was all ordained by the Heavenly Father. That was a punishment for us, to show us where we went off and to guide us in the right way. This is the right way. So now we're going to get into verse 5. 2 Maccabees 5:5. Now when there was gone forth a false rumor as though Antiochus had been dead, Jason took at least 1,000 men and suddenly made an assault upon the city, and they that were upon the walls being put back, and the city at length taken. And Elias fled into the castle. But Jason slew his own citizens without mercy, not considering that to hit the day of his culmination would be a most unhappy day for him, but thinking that they had been his enemies and not his countrymen whom he had conquered. So this guy, Jason, was a part of the nation of Israel, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because we were already over here. This Jason guy was related to Judas Maccabeus, all right? Howbeit, verse 7, howbeit for all this he obtained not the principality, but at the least received shame for the reward of his treason, and fled again to the country of the heavens. So this is all a bunch of war stories, right? And this is an explanation of why you know, basically Jason was slaying his own people. Second Maccabees 5 and 17. And so haughty was Antiochus in mind that he considered not that the Lord was angry for a while for the sins of them that dwelt in the city, and therefore his eyes was not upon the place. For had they not been formerly wrapped in many sins, this man, as soon as he had come, had forthwith been scourged and put back from his presumption, as Heliodorus was, whom Seleucus the king sent to view the treasury. So these people didn't get any consideration because they were, they were doing sin. Nevertheless, verse 19, Yahweh did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. That's another explanation of how people have little to do with it. See, there's a little bumblebee on the sign. It's taking a little rest because there's a lot of peace over it. He stopped. He's got pollen on his legs. And this might not even be a bee. It might be a little drone, a robot. We don't know who sent this, but I'm going to treat this like it's a creature of Yahweh Shemi Shai. So if it indeed is a spy machine, you already got my channels. I don't know what else you can be spying on. Alright. So that's pretty much it for today. So I'm going to end it with this. 2 Maccabees 5 and 27. But Judas Maccabeus with 9 others or thereabout withdrew himself into the wilderness and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts, with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution. So just like we're partakers we were partakers of this pollution, which is Babylon, and the way they think and the way they act and the way they do things, we decided to go into the wild, right? We decided to go into the wild, which is in our solitude. Because we're all out here and we can't really go out to the wild. There's nothing there to sustain us. But if you had faith like these people, you moved out to the wilderness, and then you would have food. So, with that, hope this was edifying. Say shalom till next time, which will be tomorrow, Lord willing. We'll be back out here around 11 again. So we'll give all praise to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Shalom.